The fastest bike in 1980. Not very docile, she's not tame.
Mean vernacular, dream spectacular. I keep a queen and passenger, FL capital Y. Anywhere I am, jam, that's for sure. Turn me on, better set the mood from the door. That's just how it goes.
Blue skies, blue bike, that's right, the fastest bike in 1980, the Suzuki GS1100E. This bike is very special to me, and let me tell you why. This was the very first bike I ever rode, guys. I rode her around on the parking lot. I mean, the first time I rode this bike, I was honestly frightened. This is the kind of bike that you have to respect to the fullest. Honestly, man. Wow.
How about give me that? Give me them good vibes, yeah, and you might get it back. Manifest anything, oh look at that, no cap, no snap back. It's a new era. It's like a Libra, never been a diva, never wanna look back either. Focus on the future, focus on the ether.
I'm not even opening up all the way, man. I hope the microphone really does it some justice, because this thing just feels raw. It's so powerful. It has less power than my 1000 SX, but it feels more raw. It feels more dangerous, for a lack of a better word, because it doesn't have any of those riding aids that I'm used to, that traction control, the ABS, none of that. This is a Supersport with the utmost raw power. And dude, she's ready, man. She just feels like she wants to go fast all the time. The seating position is somewhat comfortable. It's definitely a sporty kind of position. If you saw my video yesterday on that Harley, I mean, this is definitely a lot more aggressive, but my Ninja 1000 is a little bit more aggressive, and you get a good grip right here on the tank. And I just feel the need to respect this bike so much more, man. And she just sounds so good too. I really, really hope that you guys can hear it how I hear it, but I highly doubt it. The microphone never does it justice. You gotta ride one of these things to really, really understand what it is. I'm not even speeding out here, guys. I'm going the speed limit for y'all. I gotta tell you, man, this bike is so much fun to ride. Woo. Yeah, man. And she got the tachometer's broken, so you just gotta go with the feel, and she feels good. Honestly, what strikes me right away is that this bike feels like a proper Supersport. Obviously, it's an OG Supersport. I mean, look, you got no rider aids on her at all. I don't even know how to turn on the headlights. It's just you, the road, and raw power. Straight up power, no joke. She is not gonna save you if you make a mistake. This is an unforgiving kind of bike. And it's not particularly the greatest first bike that you can get. Because again, you get on my 1000 SX, I rode her in rain mode for a long time. But with the 1000 SX, you don't have the full power of the throttle like on this bike. And she sounds good, man. This bike right here, there's no ride-by-wire. This is straight linked to the engine. So whatever you do with this throttle, the bike is gonna react immediately. I mean, honestly, you feel like you're just sitting on top of an engine and two wheels. There's nothing more to it. Does the horn work? Yeah, it does. I'm surprised. Okay, okay. Got a horn. And I don't know if this bike has a rev limiter on her. So I'm not going to push her to her limits. I mean, this is not my bike. I respect this bike. But this was the first bike I ever rode. Brakes are strong, not as strong as the 1000 SX, but this bike is 40 years older. Welcome to Denbury, y'all. City of Denbury. Beautiful day. Look at all these colors, guys. Straight up New England, man. Only part of the world that looks like this, and it's beautiful. It's just the throttle and the brakes, boy. You and the road, you feel much more connected to the road. You feel like you have to be much more alert riding this bike. The tires are a little bit smaller too, not by much, but they're a little smaller than my Ninja 1000. This sound is just addicting. It just, you know, it sounds like she's crying for more all the time. You know what I mean? It's her element to go fast. It's in her DNA. Let's take her on the highway. I think she enjoys the highway a little bit more than some back roads. Just the sound is so delicious. Missing the mirror right up here, which is weird to me. We got one on this side, but I like having my mirrors. Wow. She's just ready to go at every moment. And she's got to know what you're doing with this bike. You don't want to play around too much with this thing, man, because whatever you tell her to do, she's not going to hesitate. You know what I mean? It's no lag on the throttle here, no lag at all. Immediate power. You feel like the front wheel is trying to come up. You feel like you have to respect the bike. She commands respect. You know what I mean? Straight up raw, man. Bike is addicting. I truly hope that I'm getting the good audio here for you. She definitely doesn't lean as well as my 1000 SX, but on the straight line, she's just as fun. But she feels more dangerous, man. She feels more raw. There's no other way to put it. Or maybe is it because I'm not used to this bike in particular, and I rode my 1000 SX every day. But it's great to have that instant power. With my 1000 SX, you can feel that she's been tamed more. The throttle response on my 1000 SX isn't nearly as good as this, so I have to flesh my ECU in order to get some good power out of that 1000 SX, honestly. Because, yeah, night and day. Look at all these mountains. It's finally green. It's finally spring. I'm surprised I don't see a lot of other riders out here, but it's a weekday. I'm gonna see you guys this weekend, hopefully, if it's not raining too bad out here. That's the problem with the East Coast, man. I love the East Coast, but most of the year it's dark here and it's raining. nothing special. The suspension on this bike is probably much more sporty. I'm gonna describe it that way. It's a lot more sportier than my 1000 SX. It's not as smooth. It's not as comfortable at all. But this bike is not meant to be comfortable. It's a super sport, man. It's just an old style super sport, and she's gonna remind you that a mistake will cause you problems. If you make a mistake on this bike, you're gonna have a bad day, man. Because she's not here to forgive you. She's here to give you power, raw power. This bike has about 100 horsepower, which back in the day was a lot. My 1000 SX, I believe, has about 140 something horsepower. And I can certainly feel that my 1000 SX is much better for a touring. I wouldn't want to tour on this bike for several hours. Whereas with my 1000 SX, I feel more comfortable. No scooters, no dogs. Where the dogs at, man? Where the dogs at? No dogs out here, but we have deer, we have squirrels that jump in front of the car all the time. Gotta watch for them squirrels over here, man. Because they're out, especially on the beautiful day like this. Gotta be ready, man. I hope that you guys are having a great day wherever you are. Thank you for staying around and watching to the end. Make sure you subscribe. You give it a like on the video because it helps other people to see. And don't forget, man, stay healthy. I'll catch you guys next time.